Top 10 countries with the highest crime rate in 2023. The political, economic, and social systems of the country are the main aspects that contribute to societal vices. As long as humans have existed, crime has existed. It is a problem that affects both countries and the entire human species. Sometimes, criminal acts differ based on certain circumstances and countries. However, some criminal acts are considered crimes worldwide. Examples of these criminal acts include murder, theft, and rape. These acts of crime are considered unacceptable human behavior, and they are punishable by the state or a constituted authority. Almost all countries in the world are not immune to crime and criminal activity, and crime has continued to flourish. Which countries do you think have the highest crime rate worldwide? Let us know in a comment. Let's dive into it. Number 10. Venezuela. Venezuela has one of the highest crime rates in the world, with a murder rate of 82.1 per 100,000 people. The country has been plagued by political instability, an economic crisis, and a shortage of basic goods, which has led to an increase in crime. It is a country that has been facing an economic crisis since the election of Hugo Chavez in 1998, when the country's oil-based socialist economy began to rapidly decline. This economic recession has caused mass financial insecurity across the nation, snowballing into issues beyond the depreciation of the bolivar currency, including high levels of violence. According to the United Nations, the country has one of the highest murder rates in the world, with an estimated 81.4 murders per 100,000 people in 2018. In addition, kidnappings, rape, and other violent crimes are commonplace. The Venezuelan government stands responsible for violent repression and political opposition, and many of the country's gangs are heavily armed and have committed violent acts against citizens. Number 9. Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea has a high crime rate, with a reported incidence of various criminal activities such as violent crime, theft, and property crime. The country's overall crime rate is considered high, particularly in urban areas such as Port Moresby and Lee. The criminal justice system in Papua New Guinea is considered weak, with a high rate of police corruption and a lack of resources to effectively combat crime. Additionally, poverty, unemployment, and a lack of education also contribute to the high crime rate in the country. In addition to that, the country has the highest crime rates in the world due to a number of factors. Poverty, unemployment, and political instabilities are some of the key factors contributing to the high crime rate. Additionally, the lack of accountability for police violence and weak enforcement of laws criminalizing corruption and violence against women and children also contribute to the high crime rate. The most common types of crimes in Papua New Guinea are burglary 48.6%, robbery 63%, aggravated assault 25.1%, and homicide 8.99%. Number 8. South Africa. South Africa is a country with a high crime rate, particularly in terms of violent crime. According to a report from the South African Police Service, the country's crime rate has been increasing in recent years. The country has one of the highest murder rates in the world, with a reported rate of 30.9 murders per 100,000 people in 2019. The Global Corruption Barometer Africa survey conducted in 2023 did suggest that the South African Police Service SAPS was seen as the one of most corrupt institution in the country. This is concerning given the prevalence of police corruption in South Africa. Xenophobic violence has seen a spike in South Africa in recent years. This has been linked to economic inequality, rising unemployment, and competition for scarce resources, often as xenophobic attacks. The government has introduced several initiatives to prevent and address xenophobic violence. For instance, the proposed hate crimes bill seeks to introduce tougher sentences for perpetrators of hate crimes, including xenophobic attacks. One of the most significant issues facing South Africa is the high rate of violent crime. This is particularly in the form of armed robbery and carjacking. The country's high rates of unemployment and poverty have contributed to an increase in property crime, along with many individuals turning to crime as a means of survival. Additionally, the country's high rate of inequality has contributed to a lack of trust in law enforcement, with many individuals being unwilling to report crimes for fear of retaliation. Number 7. Afghanistan. Afghanistan has long been plagued by high crime rates, with various factors contributing to the problem. The ongoing war and political instability in the country have created a security vacuum, leading to an increase in criminal activity. Additionally, poverty and unemployment are widespread, leading many Afghans to turn to crime as a means of survival. Kidnapping for ransom is also a significant problem in Afghanistan. This is often carried out by criminal groups or Taliban militants, who target both Afghan citizens and foreigners. The lack of a strong police force and judiciary in many parts of the country also makes it difficult to combat this crime. In addition to these crimes, there are also reports of corruption within the Afghan government and security forces. This includes bribery, embezzlement, and nepotism, which undermine the rule of law and contribute to the overall high crime rate in the country. Afghanistan had a crime rate of 76.31 crimes per 100,000 people in 2018. This crime rate can be attributed to a variety of factors, such as high levels of poverty, inequality, unemployment, and social exclusion, and as well as the breakdown of the rule of law and government corruption. In Afghanistan, common types of crime include corruption, assassinations or contract killings, drug trafficking, kidnapping, money laundering, and theft. In order to reduce the crime rate in Afghanistan, the government must take steps to address the underlying causes of crime, such as poverty, inequality, and unemployment. Additionally, the government should strive to improve access to law enforcement and the judicial system, and as well as increase penalties for criminals. Number 6. Honduras. Honduras is a country in Central America that is known for its high crime rate. The country has one of the highest murder rates in the world, with violence and criminal activity being a major concern for both residents and tourists. There are various factors that contribute to the high crime rate in Honduras, including poverty, unemployment, and a weak justice system. The country has a high crime rate, with a reported 74.54% in recent years. This high rate of crime is a major concern for both residents and tourists and is a significant national security challenge for the country. The high crime rate is attributed to a number of factors, including poverty, unemployment, and a weak justice system. Another major problem in Honduras is the presence of violent street gangs, known as maras. These gangs are responsible for a wide range of criminal activities, including extortion, drug trafficking, and murder. They often prey on vulnerable communities, particularly in urban areas, and have created a climate of fear for many residents. Number 5. Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago, a twin island country located in the Caribbean, has been facing a high crime rate in recent years. According to official statistics, the country has a relatively high murder rate, with an average of 30 homicides per 100,000 people recorded in 2019. Additionally, the country has been facing a high rate of violent crime, including robbery, assault, and sexual violence. The crime rate in Trinidad and Tobago is high and has been increasing in recent years. According to the World Bank's 2023 Crime Index, Trinidad and Tobago has the 6th highest crime rate in the world. In 2018, there were 414 murders, representing a 40% increase from the same point the previous year. Problem property crimes, such as vandalism and theft, are common as a problem violent crimes such as assault and armed robbery. Number 4. Guyana. The crime rate in Guyana is high, with 77.61 reported. The crime rate has been increasing in the past 3 years, with 75.98 reported. Troubles of shattered homes, things stolen, and were robbed, cars stolen, attacked, or assaulted are all high. The murder rate in Guyana is 19.2 per 100,000 people. This is why it is ranked 26th in the world, and 19.6 per 100,000 people, which is ranked 24th in the world, is 2% higher than the rate in Guyana. The problem of violent crime in Guyana is serious. The murder rate is 3 times higher than that of the U.S. The safety of walking alone during the daylight is rated as moderate, while the safety of walking alone during the night is rated as low. Guyana has a high rate of violent crimes such as murder, rape, and robbery. According to the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime, Guyana is is the second country in the world with the highest rate of organized crime, therefore behind only the Democratic Republic of the Congo. In 2013, Guyana reported a homicide rate of about 20.4 per 100,000 people. It makes it the fourth highest murder rate in South America, aside from Venezuela, Colombia, and Brazil. Guyana's crime rate is pegged at 68.74%. It is important to take precautions and stay aware of what is happening around you when you visit Guyana. Number 3. El Salvador is a country in Central America that has been facing a high crime rate in recent years. According to official statistics, the country has a relatively high murder rate, with an average of 37.6 homicides per 100,000 people recorded in 2019. Additionally, the country has been facing a high rate of assault and sexual violence. El Salvador's homicide rate in 2023 was 9.4 per day, and 7.8 homicides per 1,000 occupants. The Salvadoran government reported that 2022 police recorded 5 murders, a reduction of 56.8% compared to 2021. This was the last rate in Salvador since the end of the Civil War. As well as January 1 and 15, the Salvadoran National Police registered homicides at a 0.3-day rate. Its estimated more than the 32 recorded in the same 2022 period. At the current rate, El Salvador could close the year with 122 homicides, and 1.9 homicides per 1,000 occupants. Also, during this period, police reported a battle with Salvadoran security forces. Number 2. Brazil has one of the highest homicide rates in the world. Its homicide rate is 7.49%, which is significantly higher than the global average. Also regarded as one of the highest in the world, the country has been plagued with violence. Its so Salvador was the 28th most dangerous city in 2018. In addition, Brazil has a high rate of kidnappings and other violent crimes, making it one of the most dangerous countries in the world. The country has a high crime rate, particularly in regards to violent crimes such as murder and burglary. The country's homicide rate is 27.3 per 100,000 inhabitants. This places it in the top 20 countries with the highest international homicide rate. Venezuela is not only the top 20 most dangerous countries in the world, it is still in the top 50, with many of these homicides committed by gangs and unaffecting the general population. Brazil also holds the record for the highest unintentional homicides in the world. However, in recent years, the homicide rate in Brazil has begun to decline. In 2020, it was estimated to 64,100,000 with 43,879 killings. Number 1. Jamaica. Jamaica has a high crime rate, particularly in regards to violent crimes such as homicide and killings. However, these types of crimes are typically concentrated in certain areas and do not generally affect tourists. Crimes that tourists may take from the robbery, violence, thieves, scams, and kidnappings. This is easy to do. It is important to Canadian business meetings large amounts of cash or valuables are not displayed expensive to leisure and occurrence. Once it's safe and populated areas, especially at night, you can avoid breaking crowd. Also, you can avoid scams and only use licensed taxis or tour operators. According to the United Nations, Jamaica is one of the countries with the highest crime rates in the world. Its crime rate is 67.22%. Other countries with the highest crime rates in the world are Venezuela, Turkey, South Africa, Afghanistan, and Honduras. The country with the lowest crime rate in the world is Qatar, with a rate of 0.25%.